Why is Greenland called Greenland when it is actually 80% glacier and almost entirely covered with ice? And why is Iceland, famous for its green landscapes and hot springs, called Iceland? It seems like these two names were mixed up. Well, Greenland actually got its name from Eric the Red. In the 9th century, Norwegian Vikings were the first to reach the shores of Iceland. It's well known that new lands were named after what the explorers saw first. And since they arrived in winter, all they saw were a frozen landscape and ice. So they named it based on what they saw. Hence the name Iceland. When Iceland became populated, one of the Vikings, Eric the Red, an Icelander exiled from the island for his crimes, set out in search of new lands. Heading west, he came across a massive icy island. Realizing that it would be difficult to attract settlers, he used a clever trick and named it Greenland. Ironically, the opposite of what it was. Ever wondered how igloos made of frozen snow keep people warm inside? It sounds impossible, right? Snow is actually a fantastic insulator. It's all about trapped air. When you build an igloo, the compacted snow traps tiny air pockets. These pockets slow down heat transfer, keeping the cold out and the warmth in. Body heat and even a small fire can raise the inside temperature above freezing, creating a cozy shelter, even in the middle of the Arctic cold. Next time you think of snow as just frozen water, remember, if used properly, it can be nature's perfect insulation. Why are ship bottoms always red? Ever notice that almost every ship has a red bottom? Well, it's not just for looks. There's actually a fascinating reason behind it. Back in the days of wooden ships, sailors battled a hidden enemy: marine growth. Barnacles and algae would cling to the hull, slowing the ship down and making it less efficient. To fight this, they used copper-based paints, which had a reddish tint and helped keep the hull clean. Even today, modern ships use special anti-fouling paints, often in red, to prevent marine organisms from attaching. This special paint reduces drag, saves fuel, and keeps ships moving smoothly across the seas. So, next time you see a ship with a red bottom, you'll know it's not just tradition, it's science. Imagine paying $60,000 for a single bottle of water. Well, in 2010, a 750-milliliter bottle of acqua di cristallo, Tributo, a Modigliani, sold for exactly that, making it the world's most expensive bottled water. So, what makes it worth the price? First, the bottle itself. A masterpiece coated in 24-karat gold, designed by Fernando Altamirano. But what about the water? It's a rare blend from French and Fijian springs, mixed with water from Icelandic glaciers, some of the purest on Earth. The hefty price tag wasn't just for luxury. The auction's proceeds went toward environmental causes to help fight global warming. Expensive? Definitely. But at least this luxury had a purpose. Cows with zebra-like stripes. Did you know scientists actually painted cows with zebra-like stripes? But why on earth would they do that? Well, researchers had a fascinating hypothesis. That painting cows with black and white stripes might help them avoid biting flies. The idea is that these high-contrast patterns confuse the flies, making it harder for them to land and bite. And guess what? The experiment actually worked. Striped cows showed fewer fly-repelling behaviors, meaning they were being bitten less often. This unusual but effective trick was detailed in a study published in the peer-reviewed journal PLOS One. So, could this be a natural alternative to pesticides? Penicillin, the world's first true wonder drug, has saved millions. But what if I told you we almost never discovered its power? In 1929, Sir Alexander Fleming tested penicillin on mice and rabbits to prove it was safe. But if these tests had been done on guinea pigs, we might have never discovered its power, and history might have changed forever. Why? Because guinea pigs have unique gut bacteria that makes penicillin toxic to them. Imagine if researchers had chosen guinea pigs instead of mice. Researchers would have assumed penicillin was deadly. The experiment would have failed, and penicillin might have been dismissed entirely. No antibiotics. No life-saving medicine. Just a tragic missed opportunity. Did science got lucky? The real-life Forrest Gump. Ever had a fight so bad you just wanted to walk away? Well, this guy took it literally. In 2020, a 48-year-old Italian man from Como had an argument with his wife. So he went for a walk to cool off. But instead of cooling off and heading home, he just kept going and going. 1 week and 280 miles, about 450 kilometers later, he was still walking. He averaged 60-plus kilometers, about 38 miles a day. Police found him wandering at 2 a.m., cold but determined. Turns out his wife had reported him missing days earlier. He didn't exactly get a hero's welcome. The grand prize for his epic journey? A $400 fine for breaking Italy's strict COVID-19 curfew. So, next time you're mad, remember the Italian Forrest Gump. Maybe you should just grab a pizza instead of walking across Italy. Fun fact: Made in China stickers are not actually made in China. Sounds ironic, right? It's true. But why? Well, South Korea is known for high-quality manufacturing, skilled labor, and efficient production processes. Some companies outsource sticker production there because it's cost-effective and ensures better durability. Ironically, these ubiquitous labels that South Korea produces often outlast the products they're stuck on. It's a quirky twist in global manufacturing. South Korea's reputation for quality and efficiency makes it a prime sticker source. Why do flamingos lose their pink? Ever wondered why some flamingos start looking a little pale? It's not just bad lighting. Flamingo parents feed their chicks crop milk, a vibrant pink pigment-rich substance. Producing this milk drains the parents of the pigments that make them pink. Talk about dedication. It's like parenting literally saps the color right out of them. Don't worry though. Once the chicks grow up and the parents regain their strength, that famous flamingo pink makes a comeback. Hidden Figures, the original computers. Did you know that the first programmers were women? In the 1940s, before digital computers, women at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab performed complex calculations by hand, shaping the future of space travel. These human computers were vital to early space exploration. Their work, initially deemed unskilled, was actually incredibly complex and crucial. Despite their groundbreaking contributions, these women were often overlooked, and their work dismissed as clerical when it was, in fact, rocket science. Their story highlights the hidden role of women in STEM, proving that innovation isn't just about machines. It's about the brilliant minds behind them. These women cracked equations that sent rockets beyond our atmosphere. Dutch. Ever wondered what the word Dutch actually means? It's a bit of a historical puzzle. Dutch comes from the Old Germanic word theodisk, meaning of the people. It was used to describe the language of common people in West Germanic areas. So Dutch refers to anything related to the Netherlands, its people, language, and rich culture. Interestingly, Pennsylvania Dutch aren't actually Dutch. They're German immigrants. And Dutch was a misinterpretation of Deutsch, the German word for German. Today, Dutch refers specifically to things from the Netherlands. Think tulips, windmills, and the vibrant culture of Amsterdam. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay curious and keep exploring the world, one fact at a time. Imagine a sea of red hair flooding the streets of Tilburg. That's exactly what happens every year at the Redhead Days Festival, the world's biggest and most spectacular gathering of natural redheads. Tens of thousands of people, including thousands of natural redheads from over 80 countries, come together to celebrate this rare genetic trait. It's more than just a festival, it's a global reunion, packed with unique events, stunning group photos, and a whole lot of gingerness. If you've ever wanted to see an entire city turn red, this is the place to go. Titleist, the golf ball that changed the game. Ever wonder why Titleist reigns supreme? It all started with a flawed golf ball. In the 1930s, an executive at Acushnet Company discovered that many golf balls had off-center cores. Determined to create the most precise ball, Titleist was born. He partnered with an MIT engineer, crafting a ball for precision. By 1935, Titleist was born, revolutionizing the game. The iconic logo? Inspired by a secretary's handwriting, making Titleist the tour's top choice by 1945. Then came 2000, the Pro V1, the most successful golf ball ever, cementing Titleist's legacy. The Great Gold Rush. How much have we found? Did you know that all the gold ever mined could barely fill 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools? It's true. Gold is rare, precious, and highly sought after. Ever wondered how much gold humans have unearthed throughout history? We've mined approximately 187,000 metric tons of gold. Experts estimate another 57,000 metric tons are still underground, waiting to be discovered. Most of the world's gold comes from China, Australia, and South Africa. The United States ranks 4th in gold production. There's likely more gold hidden deep within the earth, and even in our oceans. The secret rescue of the Mona Lisa. Imagine walking into a dark, damp salt mine in Germany, finding the world's most famous painting hidden away like a buried treasure. That's exactly what happened in 1945. During World War II, the Mona Lisa was stolen and hidden away by German forces. Its fate hung in the balance, hidden away in secret locations, along with thousands of other priceless artworks. But thanks to the efforts of the Monuments Men, a group of unlikely heroes dedicated to saving stolen art. These art historians and museum curators risked their lives to recover stolen treasures. In 1945, they found it. The Mona Lisa was hidden in a salt mine. A symbol of hope rescued from the clutches of war. This wasn't just a painting, it was a symbol of culture, history, and resilience, saved from disappearing forever. Thanks to the Monuments Men and others who fought to save art from destruction, masterpieces like the Mona Lisa still inspire the world today. Pringles, from snacks to space. Ever wondered what Pringles and rocket science have in common? Prepare for a mind-blowing connection. Meet Frederick Bauer, the genius behind the iconic Pringles can. He wasn't just a snacks innovator. He also held patents in aerospace engineering technology. Talk about range. No caller ID. Ever get a call from an unknown number and just ignore it? You're not alone. In fact, 67% of people say they never pick up when they don't recognize the caller. But why? One word. Spam. Spam calls have become a full-blown epidemic. Every single day, millions of people get calls from numbers that look legit. Maybe even your bank, your power company, or your own doctor's office. But more often than not, it's just scammers, telemarketers, or robocalls trying to trick you. And the worst part? They're getting smarter. Would you still answer if the number looked like someone you trust? Ever heard of a museum of epic fails? There is a museum. Yes, it exists. Ever wondered what happens to ideas that completely flop? Turns out there's a whole museum for them. Welcome to the Museum of Failure. a traveling exhibition where the worst product ideas are proudly on display. This isn't about groundbreaking success. No, sir. It's about legendary misfires, the kind that make you ask, what were they thinking? From Colgate lasagna? Yes, that was a real thing. To Apple's doomed Newton PDA, this museum showcases inventions that spectacularly. But here's the twist. These failures aren't just funny. They prove that innovation isn't about never failing. It's about failing smart, learning, and moving forward. This one-of-a-kind exhibit has been showcased around the world, turning flops into lessons for future success. Think you could handle having one of your ideas in this museum? Follow for more bizarre, mind-blowing facts. Birds are living dinosaurs. Do you know any twins? Because in a way, birds and dinosaurs are evolutionary twins. What if I told you that every time you see a bird, you're actually looking at a living dinosaur? Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true. Birds evolved from a group of small dinosaurs called theropods, the same group that includes the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. And get this, chickens are one of T-Rex's closest living relatives. So next time you see a chicken strutting around, just imagine it as a tiny, feathered T-Rex. Fossil evidence shows that the first bird-like dinosaurs appeared over 150 million years ago. These ancient creatures had feathers, wings, and even some of the features we see in modern birds today. Evolution didn't happen overnight, but the link between dinosaurs and birds is undeniable. Fun fact, scientists have even found preserved dinosaur feathers trapped in amber. That's about as close as we'll ever get to a real-life Jurassic Park. Twins have their own secret language. Ever wondered if twins can secretly talk to each other without anyone else understanding? It's like twins sharing a secret code, unintelligible to the rest of us. Well, it turns out they can. Around 40% of twins develop their own private language. It's called cryptophagia or idioglossia, and it's a fascinating phenomenon. These languages aren't random babble. They possess a structure and meaning unique to the twins. Imagine twins creating their own words and grammar. This unique bond fosters incredible communication. While these languages often fade as twins learn the standard languages, or when they grow older, the connection remains. It's a testament to the special relationship that the twins share. Have you ever witnessed twins communicating in their own way? Diamond planets. Imagine a place where it literally rains diamonds. That's not science fiction. That's what's happening deep inside Neptune and Uranus. These icy giants hold a sparkling secret deep within their atmospheres. Scientists think that the extreme pressure in their atmospheres crushes carbon atoms together, possibly forming a dazzling, diamond-like structures. Imagine a planet where diamonds are as common as raindrops. Some scientists even believe that these planets could have entire layers of diamond beneath their surfaces. Which planet would you most like to visit? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more. Everyone knows the Titanic's tragic fate. But did you know it wasn't the only Olympic-class liner to run into trouble? A year before the Titanic set sail, its sister ship, the RMS Olympic, had a close call that could have changed history. In 1911, the Olympic collided with the HMS Hawke, a British warship designed to sink enemy vessels by ramming them. The force of the crash ripped open Olympic's hull, flooding 2 compartments. This wasn't just a minor accident. Engineers at the time questioned the design and maneuverability of these massive liners. But instead of making drastic changes, White Star Line only made a few tweaks to the Titanic's design. Some experts believe the Olympic's collision should have been a red flag. If more significant changes had been made, could the Titanic's fate have been different? Side-by-side comparisons of both ships reveal subtle modifications. What do you think? Was the Titanic doomed from the start? The banking revolution, the first ATM. Ever wonder what life was like before ATMs? Back in 1967, the very first automated teller machine changed the game. Picture 1967 London. Westminster Bank unveils a groundbreaking invention. The first ATM. No more waiting in queues. Because instant cash was now a reality. This wasn't just a machine, it was a symbol of progress. Imagine the excitement of accessing your money anytime, day or night. It was futuristic convenience at its finest. From punch cards to touchscreens, ATMs have come a long way. They've shaped how we interact with our finances. Ever wonder where the word zombie actually comes from? Well, according to the Florida Museum of Natural History, the term zombie likely originates from the Congo word nzambi, which means the spirit of a dead person. But here's where it gets more interesting. In Haitian culture, a zombie isn't necessarily a brain-hungry, flesh-eating monster. Instead, it can be someone who's annoyed their family and community so much that people basically decide they rather pretend they're dead than deal with him anymore. Now that's some next-level ghosting. This is just a glimpse into the rich, complex history of zombies. Don't forget to subscribe for more chilling tales and historical deep dives. The surprising origin of OK. Ever wonder where OK came from? It's more than just a simple word. Believe it or not, OK started as a joke. Back in 1839, people playfully abbreviated all correct as all correct. It was a fad, a humorous misspelling that caught on like wildfire. Imagine that on social media today. The abbreviation OK quickly spread through newspapers and political campaigns. It stuck around and became a universally understood term. Now OK is used worldwide. Who knew a simple misspelling could have such staying power? Did you know the real story behind OK? Let us know in the comments below. The new Picasso. Can a machine really be an artist? Think AI is just for crunching numbers and running robots? Think again. AI is now stepping into the world of art, painting, sketching, and even sculpting, like a digital Da Vinci. From lifelike portraits to surreal landscapes, AI is analyzing thousands of artworks, mastering styles, and creating original pieces. It's like having a tireless, ever-learning apprentice capable of producing stunning visuals at lightning speed. But AI doesn't stop there. AI is composing music, symphonies, crafting poetry, and even designing futuristic architectures. Creativity is no longer just a human trait. It's evolving into something bigger, something boundless. So, what do you think? Is AI the next great artist, or will human creativity always reign supreme? The perfect world of cats. Ever wondered what it's like to be a cat? Your feline friend experiences the world in ways you can't even imagine. Unlike humans or even dogs, cats are completely oblivious to sweetness. Why? Because they lack the gene for the sweet taste receptor, known as TAS1R2. In simple terms, like their taste buds just don't recognize sugar. While we crave chocolate and ice cream, your cat couldn't care less about sweets. Ever seen a cat drinking seawater? See, unlike us, cats have ultra-efficient kidneys that filter out excess salt, allowing them to safely drink salty water without getting dehydrated. This incredible adaptation traces back to their wild ancestors, who survived in arid environments with little access to fresh water. Cats are full of hidden superpowers, don't you think? The FBI might be more interested in mythical creatures than you think. It's true. The FBI actually has a file on the abominable snowman, or Yeti as some call him. Apparently, back in the day, they received inquiries and documented sightings on the abominable snowman. Who knew the FBI was so interested in cryptozoology? What do you think? Do you believe in Bigfoot, the Yeti, or maybe just really hairy hikers? Antarctica's first arrest, and no, it wasn't for stealing a penguin. Think Antarctica is just ice, penguins, and scientists? Think again. In 1991, a British tourist became Antarctica's first lawbreaker. Perhaps feeling a little too fast and furious, getting him caught speeding on a snowmobile. Talk about a chilly chase. Antarctica has speed limits too. And breaking them? Well, that landed him the title of Antarctica's first official lawbreaker. Turns out, even in one of the most remote places on Earth, there are still rules to follow. This bizarre case remains a unique chapter in Antarctic history. How about you? What's the strangest place you've ever encountered law enforcement? Can openers, a half-century wait. Ever wondered why it took so long for can openers to exist? The can opener was invented 50 years after the can. The metal cans were invented around 1810. But get this. For nearly 50 years, opening them was a struggle. Think chisels, hammers, etc. Ezra Warner patented the first can opener on January 5, 1858. That's almost 50 astounding years after metal cans appeared. Warner designed a tool with a cutting blade and a guard that prevented the blade from penetrating too far into a can's contents. Genius, right? Coconuts are more dangerous than sharks? Sharks are terrifying predators of the deep, right? But what if I told you something far more mundane is statistically more deadly? Coconuts! Yes, each year, those tropical fruits cause approximately 150 deaths globally. Sharks, on the other hand, are responsible for only about 5 to 10 fatalities annually. That's a huge difference. How can a coconut be so dangerous? These heavy fruits grow high on palm trees, sometimes up to 80 feet. When they fall, they can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, delivering a potentially fatal blow. Imagine a bowling ball dropped from a tall building. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. While shark attacks are rare, coconut-related injuries are more common in tropical regions. Before you swear off tropical vacations, remember that context is crucial. Coconut injuries mainly occur when people are directly under palm trees. So common sense goes a long way in mitigating the risk. Sharks are often overhyped in media, while the danger of falling coconuts is largely overlooked. It's all about understanding the real risks around us. So, would you rather take your chances swimming with sharks or napping under a coconut tree? Let me know in the comments below. The nose knows. Think your nose is just for breathing? Think again. Believe it or not, your nose can detect over 1 trillion different scents. Yeah, can you imagine? 1,000 billion smells. That's way more than scientists used to think. A 2014 study proved that our sense of smell is way sharper than we ever imagined. That means your brain is constantly decoding an invisible world of scents. From fresh-baked cookies to the faintest whiff of rain before a storm. Kind of mind-blowing, right? With 1 trillion options, what's the best smell you've ever experienced? The royal flush of history. Ever wondered about the unsung hero of your bathroom? Let's dive into the surprisingly fascinating history of toilet paper. Believe it or not, toilet paper's story begins way back in the 6th century China. Emperors were wiping in style, long before the rest of us. Fast forward to the 14th century, and China was mass-producing toilet paper. Talk about being ahead of the curve. In 1883, the patent for roll-based dispensers was created. The toilet paper we know and love took off in the 19th century. Ready to impress your friends with your newfound toilet paper trivia? Like and follow for more surprising historical facts. Cat Island, a feline fantasy. Ever dreamt of a place where cats reign supreme? Well, guess what? That place exists. Tashirojima, Japan, is a real-life paradise. Here, cats outnumber humans, creating a unique and charming community. Locals believe these cats bring good fortune, but their history goes even deeper. Fishermen once relied on them to keep rodent populations in check, especially around silkworm farms. Over time, the cats became symbols of prosperity. Today, they're treated like honored guests. Imagine strolling through streets filled with playful kittens and sunbathing seniors. It's a cat lover's dream come true. So, are you a cat or a dog person? The fight against drunk driving isn't new. It stretches back to the horse-drawn carriages of the late 19th century. In 1897, George Smith, a London cab driver, became infamous. He was the first person ever convicted of drunk driving. Can you imagine a horse-drawn cab weaving erratically through London streets? Smith's joyride ended with a crash into a building. His punishment? A 25-shilling fine. While this might seem as a small fine today, it was a significant penalty then. This historical case highlights the long-standing need for responsible driving. Let George Smith's story be a reminder. A history lesson on road safety. Not all oranges are orange. Did you know that not all oranges turn orange? Some oranges stay green even when ripe. It's true! Oranges are actually subtropical fruits, not tropical ones. And their color? That depends on the climate where they grow. In hot, humid regions like Thailand or Brazil, it never gets cold enough for the skin to develop that classic bright orange hue. Instead, oranges stay green or yellow even when ripe. But don't worry, they're just as sweet and juicy. Like and follow for more delicious knowledge. Alaska's hidden enigma. Ever heard of Haines, Alaska? A place where roads end and adventure begins. Accessible only by sea or air, it's a haven of untouched wilderness. Imagine a life where nature dictates the pace. This isolation has fostered a unique community that is deeply connected to its environment. A place where traditions thrive, shielded from the modern rush. What secrets does this remote corner hold? Ever wondered where most of humanity calls home? Well, it turns out that a staggering 90% of the world's population lives in the Northern Hemisphere. That's about 6.57 billion people, out of the 7.3 billion people on Earth. Living in the Northern Hemisphere. But why? Well, it's not just a coincidence. Most of the world's landmass, major cities, and economic powerhouses are north of the equator. Plus, this shapes everything from global weather patterns to the way we map the world. Pretty wild, right? Ever dreamt of a robot dog? Boston Dynamics Spot can map environments, climb stairs, and even open doors. Sounds amazing, right? Imagine Spot fetching your slippers, patrolling your home, or just being a generally cool, futuristic companion. The possibilities are endless. But hold on. Before you get too excited, let's talk price. This robotic canine starts at a cool $75,000. And that's before you add any of the fun extras. So is Spot worth more than a luxury car? Maybe if you're a Bond villain. For the rest of us, perhaps a real dog or a Roomba is a more budget-friendly option. Ready to empty your bank account? Or maybe just stick to YouTube videos of Spot doing cool tricks. Turkeys had the original Uber. Forget designated drivers. Back in the early 1900s, Turkish bars had kufachi, basket carriers who lugged wasted patrons home. Talk about service. No apps, no surge pricing, just a guy with a giant basket. Imagine ordering an Uber and getting a dude with a basket. It's like Uber Eats, but instead of delivering food, they deliver you. Talk about door-to-door service. So next time you're out drinking, just be glad you don't need to be literally carried home. Dogs can smell your emotions. Did you know that your dog knows how you feel? It's true. A dog's sense of smell is up to 100,000 times stronger than yours. That means they can sniff out more than just treats. They can detect emotions like fear, stress, and even happiness just from your scent. When you're scared, your body releases chemicals through sweat, and your dog picks up on it instantly. So, next time your dog gives you a comforting nuzzle, they're not just guessing. You smell different to them. The Accidental Queen. Ever wonder how the Queen Mary got her name? Well, the Queen Mary was almost the Queen Victoria. All because of a royal mix-up. Cunard planned to name the ship after Britain's greatest queen, naturally assuming everyone knew he meant Victoria. Oops, big mistake. They mentioned the name to King George V, who thought they meant his wife, Queen Mary. Awkward. Not wanting to correct the king, they just went with it. And that's how one of history's most famous ocean liners got its name. By accident. All thanks to a royal misunderstanding. Like and subscribe for more surprising stories. Nature's crab obsession. Evolution keeps turning creatures into crabs, seriously. It's called carcinization, and it's happened at least 5 times. Lobsters, shrimps, boom, crab mode activated. Why? Because a flat, armored body is perfect for survival. Scuttling sideways, squeezing into tight spaces, it's nature's winning formula. Basically, if evolution had a favorite shape, it'd be a crab. Did you know your eyebrows are a key to facial recognition? A 2003 study revealed that people struggle to identify faces without eyebrows. Think about it. They frame your eyes and express emotions. They're basically your face's silent communicators. Eyebrows are more important than eyes for facial recognition. Remove them and you're basically incognito. Don't underestimate the power of your brows. They're essential for expression and recognition. Follow us for more mind-blowing facts and share this video with your friends. The hormones behind your hunger. Ever wondered why you feel hungry or suddenly full? Meet leptin and ghrelin, the 2 key hormones that regulate your appetite. Leptin, the I'm full hormone. Leptin is produced by your fat cells and travels through your bloodstream to signal your brain when you've had enough to eat. It also helps regulate fat storage and maintain a healthy weight. Ghrelin, the I'm hungry hormone. Ghrelin, made in your stomach, tells your brain when it's time to eat. It's the reason you start craving food when you're running on empty. These 2 hormones work like a built-in fuel gauge, keeping your energy levels balanced. Leptin suppresses appetite while ghrelin stimulates it. This balance ensures you eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. Cats with passports. Did you know that cats once had their own passports? In the past, especially up until the mid-20th century, cats were vital crew members on ships, serving as natural pest controllers to protect food supplies and prevent damage to ropes. To honor their contributions, some of these feline sailors were issued special passports, complete with an official paw print as a signature. Today, while your cat won't need a tiny passport to travel, they do require an Animal Health Certificate, AHC, for international journeys. This certificate ensures that your pet meets the health standards of the destination country, facilitating a smooth and safe trip for both you and your feline companion. Green eyes, nature's rare emeralds. Green eyes are among the rarest natural eye colors, found in only about 2% of the world's population. This captivating hue results from a combination of low melanin levels and the scattering of light in the iris, creating that mesmerizing green glow. It's like having tiny emeralds in your eyes, nature's own precious gemstones. While green eyes are most common in Northern and Central Europe, they can be found in people from all backgrounds. Unlike blue eyes, which can be traced back to a single common ancestor, green eyes likely developed independently in different populations. This means that the genetic variations leading to green eyes arose separately in various parts of the world. The unique color of green eyes is due to a combination of an amber or light brown pigmentation in the stroma of the iris and a blue shade created by the Rayleigh scattering of reflected light. This interplay results in the distinctive green appearance. Hidden superpower. Ever wondered how fish navigate their watery world with such precision? They possess a remarkable sensory system called the lateral line, a series of specialized cells running along their bodies that detect vibrations and movements in the water. This built-in spidey sense allows them to sense nearby predators, find food, and even swim in perfect harmony with their schoolmates. So, they're not just swimming. They're sensing their environment in ways we can only imagine. Cool, right? No wonder goldfish always look so zen. They've got the ultimate vibe check system. Nature's superfood. Imagine a superfood that's more nutritious than cow's milk. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, cockroaches, like Diploptera punctata, produce a protein-rich substance to nourish their young. This isn't your typical dairy. It's a crystallized protein packed with essential nutrients. Studies suggest it's more energy-dense than cow's milk, making it a potential superfood. However, harvesting this milk is challenging and not yet feasible for mass production. So, while it remains a fascinating example of nature's ingenuity, don't expect to find it on grocery shelves anytime soon. The key element in the human body. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the human body, comprising of about 65% of our body mass. This high percentage is largely due to water, H2O, which accounts for roughly 60% of our body weight. Beyond water, oxygen is a crucial component of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and even our DNA. Oxygen is essential for cellular respiration, the process by which our cells produce energy. During this process, oxygen helps convert nutrients into adenosine triphosphate, ATP, the primary energy carrier in cells. Nature's solar-powered sea slug. Meet the leaf sheep, a tiny sea slug that looks like a miniature sheep. Found in shallow waters across Asia and the Coral Triangle, these creatures are not just adorable, they're also solar-powered. Leaf sheep feed on algae, absorbing chloroplasts, the parts of plant cells where photosynthesis occurs. This process, known as kleptoplasty, allows them to harness sunlight to produce energy, much like plants do. This unique ability enables them to survive for extended periods without additional food sources. Their green, leaf-like appearance not only aids in camouflage but also enhances their photosynthetic efficiency. By blending into their surroundings, they reduce the risk of predation. The leaf sheep is a remarkable example of nature's ingenuity, combining the charm of a sheep with the functionality of a plant. Are we too connected? The average American now spends 4 hours and 37 minutes a day on their phone. That's 70 full days a year glued to a screen. Filipinos top the charts at 5 hours 20 minutes daily, while the Japanese spend the least, averaging 1 hour 54 minutes. On top of that, people check their phones 58 times a day, mostly during work hours. No surprise that 36% of Americans feel they use their phones too much, especially Gen Z, who admit it's a real problem. Smartphone usage has skyrocketed from 3 hours 45 minutes daily in 2019 to a projected 4 hours 49 minutes in 2024. But more screen time comes with a cost. 68.6% believe excessive use harms mental health, linking it to anxiety, eye strain, and more. So the real question is, are you more connected or just more distracted? Meet Gen Beta, Starting January 1st, 2025, a new generation is on the way, Generation Beta. Born between 2025 and 2039. They'll grow up in a world dominated by AI, space exploration, and sustainability. Tech will evolve faster than ever, shaping how they learn, work, and live. The future is theirs to define. Does the universe have an edge? Short answer, no, not in the way you might think. The farthest we can see is the cosmological horizon, about 46.6 billion light-years away. This isn't a physical boundary, just the limit of what light has had time to reach us since the Big Bang. Beyond that, the universe likely goes on, either infinitely or in a way that loops back on itself. But since light hasn't reached us from those regions, we simply can't know. At least not yet. The Darwin's bark spider. One of the most successful hunters in the animal kingdom, with a near-perfect success rate. While lions, sharks, and eagles get the spotlight, this tiny spider outshines them with its massive 10-foot-wide webs, some of the strongest in nature. Built in tropical rainforests, these webs snag everything from flying insects to small birds, and even bats. Instead of chasing prey, the spider lets its ultra-sticky, energy-efficient web do the work, making it one of the most effective hunters on the planet. The cloud that never moves. Mount Roraima, located in the Gran Sabana region of Venezuela, is one of the oldest and most unique geological formations in the world. It's part of the Tepuy group, which refers to flat-topped mountains or plateaus found in the Venezuelan, Brazilian, and Guyanese borders. One of the fascinating features of Mount Roraima is the stationary cloud that frequently sits atop it, earning it the title of the cloud that never moves. So, why does this cloud stay in place? This stationary cloud forms because the mountain's 810-meter height cools warm, moist air, creating a persistent cloud at the peak. High humidity, constant rain, and stable weather keep it locked in place for days or weeks. Statistical improbability. There is more chance of you winning an Olympic medal than winning the lottery. In fact, you're about 292,000 times more likely to win an Olympic medal than the lottery jackpot. Crazy, right? Think about it. Even with thousands of elite athletes competing, your odds of standing on that podium are better than becoming an instant millionaire. It just shows how ridiculously slim those lottery chances are. The blue banana, Europe's economic powerhouse. Ever heard of the blue banana? It's not a fruit. It's one of Europe's most vital economic regions, shaped like a banana on the map. This curve stretches from northwest England, think Manchester, through France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, and down to northern Italy. It's packed with powerhouse cities like London, Paris, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, and Milan, home to major industries, global banks, and cutting-edge innovation. Why does it matter? Here are 4 reasons. Economic power. It's Europe's industrial and financial heartland. Population density. Millions live and work here, making it a massive consumer and labor hub. Infrastructure. World-class roads, railways, and airports connect it all. History and culture. These cities have driven trade, art, and innovation for centuries. The name, blue, represents prosperity and the EU's identity, while banana reflects its curved shape. Tortoises or turtles? What's the difference? Let's clear this up. All tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. Confused? Let me explain. Both belong to the same reptile family called Testudines, or Colonia, which means they're shelled reptiles. But here's the catch. Tortoises are a specific type of turtles that's built for life on land. Tortoises have dome-shaped, heavy shells, and thick, sturdy legs, almost like little elephant feet, to help them walk on solid ground. They're not great swimmers, so you'll usually find them in dry, earthy habitats. Turtles, on the other hand, are the aquatic cousins. They have flatter, lighter shells for gliding through water, and many have webbed feet or even flippers to help them swim. They're built for life in oceans, rivers, or ponds. So, while all tortoises are turtles, the key difference is their lifestyle. Tortoises are land lovers, and turtles are watergoers. The mystery of the Egyptian pyramids. The Great Pyramids of Egypt are some of the most iconic structures ever built, and their construction still fascinates historians and archaeologists. The precision with which they were constructed, using millions of heavy stone blocks, some weighing several tons, was an incredible feat of engineering. Despite centuries of study, no one truly knows how the ancient Egyptians managed to build these monumental structures, leaving their construction methods shrouded in mystery. Interestingly, the Great Sphinx of Giza, one of the most iconic monuments in Egypt, is known for its missing nose. The exact reason for the nose's disappearance is unclear, but some theories suggest it was destroyed in antiquity by cannon fire, while others believe it was intentionally removed by those who wanted to erase the symbol of Egyptian power. Did you know there's a river that flows backward twice a day? In Canada's Bay of Fundy, the incoming tide creates a phenomenon called a tidal bore, where the leading edge of the tide forms a wave that travels upstream against the river's current. This happens because the Bay of Fundy experiences the highest tides in the world, with tidal ranges reaching up to 16 meters, 53 feet. As the tide rises, it funnels into the bay's narrowing rivers, forcing the water to reverse direction. This remarkable event occurs twice daily, offering a unique spectacle of nature's power. Ancient marshmallows. Marshmallows date back 4,000 years to ancient Egypt. Back then, they were crafted from the sap of the mallow plant, which thrives in marshy areas, hence the name marshmallow. The Egyptians combined this sap with honey to create a sweet treat reserved for gods and royalty. Over time, the recipe evolved, and today, marshmallows are typically made from sugar, water, and gelatin, giving us the fluffy confections we enjoy today. The only continent without snakes. If you're afraid of snakes, you might want to visit Ireland. Ireland is the only continent in the world that is entirely free of snakes. According to legends, St. Patrick is said to have driven all the snakes into the sea, though in reality, it's more likely that snakes never inhabited the island due to its geographical isolation from the rest of Europe. The oldest known tattooed animal. The world's oldest known tattooed animal is a horse. In 2020, archaeologists unearthed a 5,000-year-old clay figurine in Siberia's Novosibirsk region, attributed to the Odinov culture. This palm-sized statue features a stripe painted on its face, believed to represent a tattoo, and wears a mask crafted from a horse vertebra, possibly depicting a bear's muzzle. The figurine was discovered in a grave alongside a woman, suggesting it held ceremonial significance. This discovery provides insight into the ceremonial practices of ancient Siberian cultures, highlighting the symbolic importance of tattoos and animal representations in their rituals. The smallest whale in the ancient whale kingdom. Did you know that the ancient whale kingdom just got a tiny new member? Recently, fossils discovered in Egypt made headlines and even earned a spot in the Guinness Book of Records. Why? Because they belong to the smallest whale ever found in the ancient whale kingdom. Now, while I can't confirm every detail about the discovery or its Guinness record, here's what we do know. This tiny whale fossil dates back around 41 million years, which fits perfectly into the timeline of whale evolution. It's a huge deal because it helps us piece together how these incredible creatures transitioned from land-dwelling mammals to the ocean giants we know today. Discoveries like this don't just tell us about the past, they also connect to the present. The mention of global warming and its impact on coastal regions reminds us that Earth's environment has always been changing. Did you know that hummingbirds are the only birds capable of flying backward? It's true. Thanks to their unique figure-8 wing motion, they can hover in midair, then reverse direction with incredible precision. This ability comes from their specialized ball and socket joint at the shoulder, allowing them to rotate their wings 180 degrees. So, when you see a hummingbird darting around flowers, it's not just for feeding. They're also showing off their impressive flying skills. Blue hole's depth. Belize's Great Blue Hole is a diver's dream, reaching an incredible depth of 407 feet, 124 meters. This natural wonder, part of the Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's famous for its crystal-clear waters, rich marine life, and dramatic underwater stalactites. The Blue Hole was formed thousands of years ago when a cave system collapsed, creating this breathtaking sinkhole. It attracts divers from around the world, offering an unforgettable experience to explore its depths and unique ecosystem. A 7th grader designed Alaska's flag. Here's a cool fact. Alaska's flag was designed by a 7th grader. Back in 1927, 13-year-old Benny Benson came up with the winning design for the state's flag. His concept was inspired by the night sky over Alaska, with the Big Dipper and the North Star prominently featured to symbolize the state's location and guiding future. For his efforts, Benny was awarded $1,000, which was a huge sum at the time meant to support his education. His design is still the official flag of Alaska today. Talk about leaving a lasting legacy at such a young age. Spending too much time on the toilet? You might want to rethink that. Sitting for more than 10 minutes can lead to some serious issues. Sitting too long slows blood flow, making it harder for your heart to pump efficiently. Moral of the story? Do your business and move on. Your body will thank you. Tag someone who needs to hear this. If two siblings from one family marry two siblings from another, their kids aren't just regular cousins, they're double cousins. Why? Because they share both sets of grandparents instead of just one. Genetically, that makes them as close as half-siblings, sharing about 25% of their DNA instead of the usual 12.5% for first cousins. It's a rare but fascinating twist in family genetics. Meet Nepenthes raja, the world's largest carnivorous plant. Native to the slopes of Mount Kinabalu and Mount Tambuyakon in Borneo, this remarkable species produces enormous pitcher-shaped traps that can hold over 3 liters of fluid. While its primary diet consists of insects, these massive pitchers have been known to capture small vertebrates, including frogs, lizards, and even rats. In fact, there have been documented instances of drowned rats found within these traps. But Nepenthes raja doesn't just rely on passive trapping. It has a fascinating mutualistic relationship with mountain tree shrews. The plant secretes a sweet nectar on the underside of its lid, attracting tree shrews to feed. As the tree shrews consume the nectar, they position themselves over the pitcher's opening and inadvertently deposit feces into the pitcher. This provides the plant with valuable nutrients, particularly nitrogen. Due to its limited distribution and habitat specificity, Nepenthes raja is classified as an endangered species. Did you know that our moon is slowly shrinking? As its interior cools over hundreds of millions of years, the moon has contracted by about 150 feet. This gradual cooling causes the lunar surface to develop wrinkles, forming features known as thrust faults, where sections of the crust are pushed over neighboring parts. These thrust faults resemble small stair-step-shaped cliffs, typically tens of meters high and extending for several kilometers. As the moon continues to cool and contract, stress builds up in its crust, leading to seismic activity. Some of these moonquakes can be fairly strong, reaching around 5 on the Richter scale. Evidence of this ongoing activity includes fresh boulder fields and landslides observed on the slopes of these fault scarps, indicating recent seismic events. This discovery not only enhances our understanding of the moon's geological history, but also suggests that it remains tectonically active today. Did you know that in Egypt, archaeologists have uncovered what is believed to be the world's oldest known pet cemetery? Dating back nearly 2,000 years to the early Roman period, this remarkable site was discovered in the ancient port city of Berenice. Unlike other animal burials in Egypt, none of the animals at Berenice were mummified. Instead, they were carefully laid to rest, often adorned with collars and jewelry, indicating the affection their owners had for them. The cemetery contains over 580 animals, including 536 cats, 32 dogs, and 15 monkeys. Some of these animals were buried with items like amphora fragments, wooden beams, and textiles, suggesting a deep bond between the pets and their owners. This discovery provides a unique glimpse into the relationships between humans and their animal companions in ancient times. Did you know that the sun's outer atmosphere, known as the corona, is actually much hotter than its surface? While the sun's surface temperature is around 5,500 degrees Celsius, 9,932 degrees Fahrenheit, the corona reaches temperatures of about 1 million degrees Celsius, 1.8 million degrees Fahrenheit. This phenomenon, often referred to as the coronal heating problem, has intrigued scientists for decades. One leading theory suggests that magnetic waves, known as alpha waves, transport energy from the sun's interior to the corona, heating it to these extreme temperatures. Another hypothesis involves numerous tiny explosions called nanoflares, which release energy and heat the corona. Understanding why the corona is so much hotter than the sun's surface remains a significant challenge in solar physics. Deep within New Mexico's Lechuguilla Cave lies a remarkable formation known as a cave pearl. These natural wonders form over thousands of years as water rich in dissolved calcium carbonate drips into cave pools. As each droplet loses carbon dioxide, it leaves behind a tiny calcite deposit. These deposits accumulate around a nucleus, often a grain of sand or a fragment of shell. The gentle movement of water keeps the developing pearl in motion, ensuring even coating and a smooth, polished surface. Over time, this process results in spherical formations that can vary in size. The formation of cave pearls is a delicate process requiring specific conditions of water chemistry and movement, making them a rare and fascinating feature of our planet's subterranean landscapes. Male bowerbirds are renowned for building intricate structures called bowers to attract mates. These bowers are often decorated with a variety of colorful objects, and some species, like the satin bowerbird, show a particular preference for blue items. Males meticulously arrange these decorations, sometimes even organizing them by color, to create an appealing display for females. This elaborate courtship behavior showcases the male's creativity and resourcefulness, playing a crucial role in female mate selection. The world's fastest snake. Did you know that the black mamba holds the title for the fastest land snake? It can reach speeds of up to 12.5 miles per hour, which is approximately 20 kilometers per hour. This incredible speed allows the black mamba to swiftly escape threats and efficiently hunt prey. Despite its fearsome reputation, this snake prefers to avoid confrontation and will often use its speed to flee from danger. Wind Cave in South Dakota exhibits this fascinating phenomenon due to changes in atmospheric pressure. When external air pressure rises, air is drawn into the cave. When it falls, air is expelled. This continuous airflow, known as cave breathing, not only inspired the cave's name but also offers insights into its vast network of passages. By monitoring these air movements, scientists estimate that we've explored less than 10% of Wind Cave's total volume, suggesting many more hidden chambers await discovery. The green. Did you know that around 6,000 years ago, the Sahara Desert wasn't a desert at all? It was a thriving expanse of grasslands, dotted with rivers and lakes, supporting a rich diversity of wildlife. This period, known as the African Humid Period, transformed the Sahara into a lush, green landscape. However, due to gradual changes in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, monsoon patterns shifted, leading to decreased rainfall. Over time, this caused the region to dry up, giving rise to the vast desert we know today. The largest iceberg ever recorded was a massive block of ice, named B-15, which broke off from Antarctica in 2000. This colossal iceberg was over 295 miles long and 37 miles wide, covering an area larger than the entire state of Delaware. It was a remarkable reminder of the power of nature and the forces at work in our planet's polar regions. The most expensive substance on Earth. The most expensive substance on Earth is antimatter, which costs around $25 billion per gram. Antimatter is the opposite of regular matter, and when the two come into contact, they annihilate each other, releasing vast amounts of energy. Though it remains largely theoretical and difficult to produce, antimatter holds enormous potential for scientific advancements in energy production and space propulsion. The world's saltiest lake. Did you know there's a lake so salty that it can be hazardous to your health? Lake Assal in Djibouti is one of the saltiest bodies of water on Earth. With salinity levels reaching up to 34.8%, that's nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean. This extreme salinity means that prolonged exposure can cause skin irritation and burns. Located 155 meters below sea level, Lake Assal is also the lowest point in Africa. Its hypersaline environment makes it inhospitable to most life forms, creating a unique and otherworldly landscape. The world's oldest receipt. The oldest known written document is a 5,000-year-old Sumerian receipt for a shipment of barley. This receipt is inscribed in cuneiform script on a clay tablet, a medium commonly used in ancient Mesopotamia for record-keeping. Clay tablets were often dried in the sun or fired in kilns to preserve the inscriptions, making them durable artifacts for historians. The use of cuneiform script on clay tablets represents one of the earliest forms of writing, marking a significant milestone in human communication and record-keeping. Some birds can see magnetic fields. European robins possess a unique protein in their eyes called cryptochrome, which enables them to perceive Earth's magnetic fields. This ability is crucial for their long-distance migrations, as it provides them with a natural compass for navigation. The cryptochrome protein reacts to light, allowing robins to detect magnetic fields as visual patterns superimposed onto their regular vision. This mechanism is so sensitive that even slight changes in the magnetic field can influence the robin's behavior. The fastest growing plant. Bamboo is the fastest growing plant on Earth, with certain species capable of growing up to 35 inches, 91 centimeters, in a single day under optimal conditions. This rapid growth makes bamboo a sustainable and versatile material utilized in construction, textiles, and various other applications. The fish that can survive in mud. The African lungfish is a remarkable creature capable of surviving extended periods without water. When its aquatic environment dries up, the lungfish burrows into the mud, secreting a slime that hardens to form a protective cocoon. Within this cocoon, the fish enters a state of suspended animation, known as estivation, allowing it to endure harsh conditions until water returns. This survival strategy enables the African lungfish to withstand periods of drought lasting up to 5 years. Did you know the world's largest flower blooms only once every decade? The Titan arum, commonly known as the corpse flower, is renowned for its infrequent and brief blooming cycle. Native to the rainforests of Sumatra, Indonesia, this plant blooms once every 7 to 10 years. When it does, the bloom lasts just 24 to 48 hours. During this short period, it emits a powerful odor resembling rotting flesh, which attracts pollinators like carrion beetles and flies. This unique flowering event has captivated audiences worldwide, with recent blooms drawing thousands of visitors eager to witness this rare spectacle. The first dinosaur fossil. The first dinosaur fossil to be recognized as such was discovered in 1824 by British geologist William Buckland. He named the creature Megalosaurus, marking the beginning of paleontology as a scientific discipline. This discovery ignited the fascination with dinosaurs and the ancient world, a field of study that continues to capture our imagination. Mount Everest grows taller every year. Mount Everest isn't just Earth's highest peak, it's also growing taller each year. Due to tectonic activity, the mountain rises by about 4 millimeters annually. This uplift results from the collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates, which pushes the Himalayan range upward. Additionally, a phenomenon known as river capture has contributed to Everest's growth. Approximately 89,000 years ago, the Aran River's course changed due to erosion, connecting with the Kosi River system. This alteration increased erosion and reduced the weight on the Earth's crust, leading to a process called continental rebound, which has been pushing up Everest by 0.16 to 0.53 millimeters annually. While this growth is gradual, it underscores the dynamic nature of our planet's geology. Over the past 89,000 years, Everest has gained between 49 and 164 feet in elevation due to these ongoing geological processes. The great silence of space. Despite the vastness of the universe, space is incredibly quiet. Without air or any medium to carry sound waves, sound cannot travel in the vacuum of space. This eerie silence in the vast cosmos raises a question that has fascinated scientists for years, leading scientists to ponder the Fermi paradox. If the universe is so vast and filled with potentially habitable planets, why haven't we detected signs of other civilizations? The absence of detectable signals from intelligent extraterrestrial life remains one of the most intriguing mysteries in science. At SciFacts Info, your go-to channel for fascinating and educational facts. From interesting trivia to mind-blowing discoveries, we deliver bite-sized content designed to entertain and inform curious minds. Whether you're a science enthusiast or just love learning something new, our rapid-fire facts and engaging lists will keep you hooked and eager for more.